Okay, hello Hemanth. Alrighty. We're just going to quickly share this link just so we can get more viewers. So if you head over to, uh, if you go to my page, Hemanth, should be there. So I'll just send you a link to my page. We got a lot of people viewing the stream. Obviously, it's going to be all about our course that we've released. I'll just get that working. You should be on the stream too if you watch it, but I'll just send a link. I just wait until Facebook loads. So I've got this new page on Facebook called Crypto Muck Streams, and it should be live right now. So I'll send. There you go, Hemanth, on Discord. So that's. So that's the page. If you go to that, it should show you there. So if you maybe share that and get a lot of viewers, and we'll talk about our course. So if it doesn't get people to view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it on starting just to get the viewers. So I'm just going to go back here and we'll wait for more viewers.
any new viewers added? Can you check any new viewers added? Check any new any viewers added or still one? You seeing still one or anyone added streaming? Okay. Can we put this in Discord groups? Yeah, I think we can start. Anyways, we will be recording this, right? We will share this.
Okay, Hemanth, welcome. So, how's your day been, by the way?
Hi, Joy. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are
That's
you?
good. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Um, you just pretty much just played some CS:GO and streamed a bit. So let's just get straight on board. Let's talk about our course. So we've released a course about bug bounties for the people that are starting off. How do you think it's gone so far?
Yeah. So as as you were saying, we have developed this course, you and me.
Mm.
So basically, the intention of this course is to make sure this is for beginner bug hunters, and as well as for intermediate bug hunters. So in this course, we will talk about the recon, the techniques or the tricks which you and me we are using from the long time, right? And the tools that you have developed and which we are using for our personal bug hunting tools. So mainly we focused on the recon methodology and all the attacks that were there,
Yep.
either using code swigger or using POC or using some other techniques, right? So we will be explaining all the attacks with a clear explanation, ranging the topics from the interesting tools. Section 1 talks about the introduction part about me and Joyd and how recon do in my way and how recon do in Joyd way, and so setting up the environment. So once that is done, in section 2 we will talk about all the interesting tools which a bug hunting hunter will use on a daily basis.
Mm.
It can be from varies from different to different, like how we can use GAU tool, how we can use subfinder, how we can automate all these tools and use as a single liners, right? And we can
Yes.
also use the SSRF tool which you have developed, right?
Mm.
And next section talks about the cross-site scripting, the basic what exactly the cross-site scripting and the techniques it talks about. And there are a few POCs as well, which
Mm.
we got these issues, and also from Portswigger, right? And
Yes.
next section we will talk about IDOR, the POCs which Joyd got, and we will talk about subdomain takeovers, SSRF, Open Redirect, and CSRF, SAML exploitation, which was trending recently, right?
Mm.
There were a lot of SAML issues that were there across all the web applications. If you learn about this technique, we can play around all the web application targets from HackerOne and Bugcrowd, and then we can, if you know this technique, we can easily get
Mm.
into this and we can exploit it, and we can get the bounties easily. And we
Exactly.
will talk about cores.
Mm. And we've actually released something
We will
very
talk
cool.
about SQL injection.
Exactly, spot on.
Go ahead.
We've also released something very cool. Project Discovery did this thing called there's a page they've released called Chaos Project Discovery, and they've got pretty much all the subdomains on all the programs. And I made this mass subdomain takeover a tutorial about how you can basically download all those subdomains and just use tools like Subjack or Subsy to just find subdomain takeovers. But there is one problem with that. There is actually there's a type of vulnerability in a subdomain takeover. I think it's like, I'm not sure what it is, but it comes up quite frequently, and it's actually they fixed it up. So we found quite a few, but we talked to other hackers, and they said that it's not vulnerable anymore. But we have put a lot of effort in this video, in this course, haven't we, Hemanth? It's pretty in depth, and it's got about 35 lectures, 11 hours of videos, 11 hours of content. So it's quite in depth, and we've put a lot of hard work into it. Let's have a talk about like who it's aimed for. Like, is it aimed for people that want to get into it and earn money and a career out of it, or are we aiming for people that is want to learn or want to get a bounty? Like, my advice is, if you're interested in bug bounties, it shouldn't be just for a quick easy dollar, quick easy money, because if you're in for it for money, you're not going to get anywhere. Isn't that right, Hemanth?
That's true. Yeah, exactly.
So you have to be interested and passionate about it.
Story. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I will tell my story. Initially, when I was into bug hunting, I always look for money, not for the learning, right? I always look for the bugs, always look for the money. I'm not going anywhere. Down the line, 4 months, after 4 months, I have realized that, okay, I should not go for the money. I have to learn all the attacks in there, and then I need to start hunting, and then money will follow anyways.
Exactly.
If you have in-depth knowledge of all the attacks, and if you know all the techniques and the tricks, definitely money will follow us. So we should not follow money. We have to just learn all the tricks and techniques and all the attacks, and just give a heads up and just go and attack on all the targets in HackerOne and Buckroad or Snack.
Exactly.
SW Hack. There are different platforms. Definitely you will find bugs, but not now. Maybe down the line after 1 month, or maybe after 6 months, after maybe 1 year. But that's fine. Even though you didn't find any bugs, you will be learning. I spent 5 hours. I didn't get any bug, but that's fine. I learned how the web application works. I learned how the architecture is. I learned the way the process. I learned some bypasses today. That's fine. It's
good. Yeah, it's a learning curve. Exactly.
in our career. Yeah.
And the thing is, like for me, as a hacker, I've always been passionate about computers. Believe it or not, when I first started working with computers, I was interested in video editing, movie making, and Photoshop. And I remember my brother. He was a bit of a computer whiz, and now he's an electrician in Ballarat. And he said to me one day, we should make a film with us. So we started making films together, and then it just kind of led on to getting more into like the security side of things. So I learned a bit of Photoshop, and then I learned to how to use game programming engines. I made my own games in Unity 3D. I'm gonna get to something about that in a minute too. And yeah, it just got interested in computers, and I gradually got into programming because I found that programming is very cool. Do a lot of different stuff with it. Everything's programmed, like computers are programmed, cars are programmed, and wherever there's programming involved, there's got to be issues, isn't that right? Because you can find a lot of bugs just by looking at the code. Because these developers, they've got time constraints. They have to get products and features released within that week. So they're just going to pretty much get everything out at once, take shortcuts, and that's when there's errors and issues and vulnerabilities in their code. So as a hacker, I got interested in programming. Therefore, it led to more interest stuff like I got into wireless hacking, did a bit of wireless penetration testing. I liked hacking computers and phones and programming my own little programs to actually hack into phones and download backdoors to the phones. But then I kind of thought, well, I'm not making any money with this. I was a bit of a black hat back in the day, but I thought, no, I can't do this. I'm going to get in trouble. And I got into web pen testing, and that was like HackerOne and BugCrowd. And I thought, there's all these hackers out there that have such great skill sets, right? And some of these guys, like Dorgy G, there was a black hat. He was originally a black hat on Yahoo, and he was almost going to have a life sentence in jail. But then he thought, well, these hacking programs like BugCrowd, HackerOne, he thought, I'm going to make money with this, and I'm going to be able to do this properly without getting in trouble. And he's gone ahead and done that. So a lot of these hackers start off somewhere in the black hat section of the black hats, but then they build on to doing stuff legally and helping out the company. So I find that really cool. I thank you very much for HackerOne and BugCrowd for having these platforms. It's awesome. But yeah, what's your methodology look like, Hemanth?
Sure. So my methodology is I need to make sure that I have a proper attack surface. while I'm hunting some targets. Let's say if I take some target xyz.com,
Mm.
initially I will get all possible subdomains. It can be using Subfinder,
Mm.
or it can be using some other tool, right? So I will try to grab all the subdomains, even using GitHub, right? You can get some unknown subdomains from GitHub too, right? GitHub docking, right?
Exactly.
So once we get all the subdomains, I will initially check for the live domains.
Mm.
So once I get the live domains, I will try to see, one way of doing it using screenshotting using Aquarium,
Oh
right?
yeah.
There are other ways where recently I have seen HTTPX tool where you will get the content, and
Mm.
when you run the live domains using cat, you will get the content and you will get the title of the page, where whenever if you see some interesting stuff, like 403 forbidden or something interesting, then you can do
Mm.
brute forcing more, right?
Exactly.
You
Spot
can
on.
use FF tool or directory search U tool, and you can do brute forcing more. If you find some any APIs, you can have some API endpoints like
Mm.
API/v1/swagger.json or application.wadl, right? There are different. You can look for APIs, or you can look for any interesting stuff, and you got some attack surface. You can start hunting from there, right?
Exactly.
So this is how my methodology will look like. If you're not found something, and if you're still hacking on,
Mm.
then using GAU tool, try to extract all the
Mm.
URLs, and you will get all the parameters, and try fuzzing the parameters. Let's see, try for XSS, try for
Mm.
open redirect, right? My best way of doing the attack is try for IDOS,
Oh yeah.
XSS,
Oh yeah.
and then go for SSRF from open redirect and
Mm.
all that. So this is my high level
Mm.
overview of methodology will look like. So I have explained in detail in my video.
Exactly.
You will get it there.
You've done a great job at that, I'll tell you that. You've done awesome. I loved it. Goes for like 50 minutes. He's gone in depth on all what he's talked about, his recon process, the whole lot. So if say I was a beginner, I wanted to get straight into this field. I wanted to learn all about bug bounty. I wanted to get my first bounty. What would you suggest for me to do?
So I was always suggest to learn about the prerequisites before that. I would always recommend to do all the Portswigger labs because
Mm.
it's a beginner friendly, right? That's which one I will always recommend. I won't recommend Pentester Lab as of now, because once you complete all Portswigger labs, then I would recommend to go to Pentester Lab, because it's a kind of an intermediate labs, right?
Mm.
It's not kind of a basics which will start from the start, right?
Mm.
I would always recommend to understand what's HTTP
Mm.
protocol and HTTPX protocol, right? HTTPS protocol, and how client server communication works, right?
Mm.
I would say OSI layers, all the layers, starting from presentation layer to
Exactly. Exactly. And the thing is,
so I would always
yeah.
recommend to, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for cutting you out there, but I just wanted to say something. Think of it like if you're doing like mathematics or you're doing physics, you don't start all the way up to the very top. You have to start down the bottom. You have to learn your arithmetic, you have to learn algebra, trigonometry, and you build up to the more advanced stuff. So it's kind of like that. And the thing is, with any sort of hacking, there is so many subcategories. You can't learn every bit of hacking. So you have to focus on one specific thing. If you like website hacking, do website hacking. If you like car hacking, do car hacking. If hardware hacking, you just follow what you find that you're passionate about. Yeah, exactly. And I found that website hacking was my favorite because,
Yeah, even I would like to add one point to your point.
Mm.
So let's say if I want to learn SSRF, right?
Mm.
What I will do, I will learn what exactly SSRF is.
Exactly.
I will search all Medium articles. I will search all the Medium articles of SSRF.
Mm.
I will take a notes. I will read HackerOne reports, right? I will do research at least for 1 week unless I get comfortable.
Mm.
So I will learn from basic to advanced, like how to bypass this SSRF and all.
Mm.
So once I get comfortable, then I will go and hack on all the websites, either using Google Docking, or you can go to HackerOne or Buckrout.
Mm.
Go to Burp, try to filter all the URLs, whichever it is trying to connect to external, and then try SSRF there. That's where you can get expertise on particular bug or a different, and you can go from there.
Exactly. And with our course, we're pretty much covering everything what we've talked about, by the way. So I actually cover some topics about mobile hacking, so using mobile security framework, aka MobSF, to actually find vulnerabilities in Android applications. I cover code review. Hemanth covers a lot of recon, a lot of he talks about what else did you talk about, Hemanth? Talk about what you've actually talked about in the course. We've talked about so much. Just wait, I'm getting a phone call from. I'll just decline that. I'll just let it go. Sorry about that. So we've talked about lots of different stuff, haven't we? Like iDoors are very, very less common to find. Like not many people find iDoors. Not many people are focused on iOS and Android. So talk about a little bit about the course. Tell us what you think is probably the most your most favorite part of the course and most interesting.
The most favorite, interesting part of my course is the approach.
Mm.
So we didn't explain the way usually maybe other people might have explained. So we have explained how practically we do it, like
Mm.
me and Zoid, how we practically do it
Mm.
while we hunting for a website. So
Mm.
as it is a dynamic course contents, we will be uploading few videos later. In those videos, we will be focusing more on specifically target. We will take the website
Yes.
and we will start hunting. How our approaches are. Like we will hunt. Okay, this is not working. Let's bypass it. Okay, this is not working.
Mm.
Even though we didn't get the defect, that's fine. But we'll tell our approaches.
Mm.
It will be easy for the beginners to get through this, right?
Exactly.
Because nowadays so many people are lagging this
Mm.
because no one is explaining their own approaches.
Yes.
Maybe at least they might be explaining it, they might not showing it practically. So what we want to is Zoid and me want to take one particular website and we want to
Mm.
see practically where we will start and where we will end. Okay, there is no bug there, then we will end there, right?
Mm.
That's how this is the main intention of
Mm.
doing this course, and it will be covering from basic to advanced anyway.
I've realised that on the Udemy courses, not many courses, hacking courses, that go for have 35 lectures and goes for how many hours? 11 hours. I've seen a lot of them are just very short and go about the very basics. They're not really in depth. They're not really talking about all the practical bugs and practical hands-on approach and how to understand the vulnerabilities. One thing that I would suggest any sort of beginner is to start off with maybe something small like cross-site scripting. Learn recon. You need to learn recon because recon is the way you got to find bugs. You don't know recon, you're not going to map out their attack surface that well. So you learn your recon, you learn how to type in bash, type in the commands. You don't need to be a programmer to learn how to hack. There's a millionaire hacker that doesn't even know how to program, and he's found lots of bugs. He's a genius. He doesn't even program. So maybe start off with something small like cross-site scripting. We start off usually that's first. We go in order. So we go recon, we go cross-site scripting, we go into more the advanced client-side attacks, and then the server-side attacks. It's pretty much in order of what you need to learn. But the thing is, once you learn cross-site scripting, don't expect to get a bounty straight away because there's so many people focusing on cross-site scripting. You're bound to get a dupe, but don't be concerned if you got a dupe because that's a valid find. One motivation I want to say is if you're a beginner and you're starting to learn off, you're not going to find a bug straight away. But the thing is, we're all noobs. We've all been there. We've all been in that situation where we're trying to find bugs and we're unsuccessful. We're all noobs. Even the big hackers are still noobs. They're always learning. So a little bit of motivational there. So have you got any questions for me, Hemanth? By the way, haven't bothered asking you if you've got questions for me.
Yeah, I thought of asking the questions. Yeah. So, what is your methodology? I want to know. I know, but
Yeah, you just want
who are in live, they want to.
Exactly. So I don't focus much on recon. I do subdomain scanning. I do a tiny bit of automation just to find basic subdomain takeovers, basic recon. I might find subdomains. I might use Census or Google Docs, but mainly my approach is manual testing. So I'll basically look through all the website. I'll usually start off with stored cross-site scripting. So if there's a file upload functionality on a website, I'll automatically test for that because that's where we can get stored XSS. So if there's a file functionality website on, say, a big website, upload an image with a JavaScript, an XSS payload in there, and then upload it to the file upload, and then change the content type to text HTML. So usually do that, and then if you look at the response, there's a URL. Grab that, copy it in your browser, and you should get XSS should get stored XSS. And I got a bounty for that. I got $1,200 for that bug I found on the website, which I'm not going to mention. And I usually start off with file uploads. I usually spider a lot just to get all the JavaScript. I spend a lot of time in the dev console looking for JavaScript, post messages, don't XSS. Look at the XHR requests because the JavaScript is this is how you actually understand the application. Looking at JavaScript. I also test out password functionalities to look for like email verification bypasses. I'll use some automation tools and some tools in Burp to find cross-site scripting. So only sometimes rarely use the Burp scanner. I always have an active scan always going in the background, but if it's too noisy, I try and throttle the requests. Just look for bugs like that. I use IDOR. I do find a lot of IDORs. I like IDORs. So usually with IDORs, I'll have Firefox containers and I have 2 separate accounts open and look for, authorization issues and stuff with auto repeater, auto rise, things like that. So I'm more a manual guy. I like manual testing.
Yeah, I would like to add one thing on top of that. What's your favorite bug type?
What's my favorite bug type? I would say either IDORs or cross-site scripting, I reckon. But more the server-side cross-site scripting. Or
Pick only one.
only one? Okay. That's a tough one. Don't XSS is fun, but I reckon IDORs. IDORs are fun. Just the way that you can find authorization issues. It's just so much fun to play with. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I haven't found a really bad IDOR yet, but I still love playing around with IDORs. It's so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you are very expertise in subdomain takeovers as well.
Yeah.
We have collaborated a lot of times, right? And you have developed one tool which is a very crazy tool. And you have developed one SubX for enumeration.
Yeah.
For API enumeration, that was very good tool. And you have developed SSRF, Open Redirect. We have included all these tools in our course.
Exactly, yeah.
Very useful for anyone. So yeah, he will be helping out to set up the environment as well. If anyone have any questions on that,
We'll be always active. We'll be always active.
Yeah, we will be always active. Anyways, so any interesting defect which you have found? Any interesting vulnerability you have found recently?
Recently, I have found a very basic Firebase takeover. So it was a Firebase takeover, which allowed me to write to the Firebase instance. That's being triaged at the moment, and I think just a basic reflected cross-site computer. I did get a stored XSS on a big website and got paid a lot of money, and I got an IDOR. Just a very, believe it or not, this IDOR I thought it was going to be very, very low-hanging fruit. I wasn't getting nothing. I thought, this is going to get nothing at all. I'm probably going to get duped. But believe it or not, they said, this is a valid issue, and they gave me $70. I'm like happy with that. But just the latest one was just the Firebase takeover. And another guy that I like to talk to, and he's a good hacker, his name's CZ. He actually told me that technique. I never knew there was a tool to actually automate that. But also been doing some mobile pen testing and found something in the, I think an API key in a mobile app that was pretty exposed, and reported that as well. Yeah, and that's getting looked at.
Yeah, so I would like to ask one interesting question. So even I am noob.
More noobs.
For us, right?
Yeah.
So there is one hunter, going for particular target, and he is doing some hunting, and at what particular point he don't know what to do, right? He did some recon, he did some attacks, and then he got burned out, and he don't know what to do next. So at that point, what's your suggestion for
So
hunters who are trying to stop there?
So so you're saying if any hunters that are starting off and they can't get a bounty, what should they do? I reckon change the approach, because what you're doing wrong, your approach you're going against the target is probably wrong. So I try and change my approach to targets, to bug bounties quite often. So excuse me, I eventually started off with just a very wrong technique. I used to always do automation. Always do automatic scanning. And then a friend of mine called Zoid, he said manual testing is the best. Just stick with manual testing, and it's a bit of automation. So if you're trying to find a bug and you're not doing it right, you're not finding anything, try and understand one bug at a time and learn everything about that, and then find that everywhere on the website. Like every parameter, every path, the whole lot. If you're still failing with that, you can't find out a bug. Try a different bug class, or try and change your recon or your approach to the target. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, I would like to add one point there. So let's say you are looking for IDOs. Learn about IDOs on week 1, right? So on week 2, go and hunt on particular websites. Okay, you were looking only for IDOs on week 2. Now on week 3, learn XSS, right? On week 4,
Mm.
go and hunt both for XL and IDOR on week 4, right? On week 5, like you keep on adding the hunting, like
Exactly.
on week
Exactly.
5, learn SSRF, right? On week 6, go and hunt on the pro
Mm.
class. Now you will look for IDOR, XSS and SSRF, right? So like that, keep on add on the attack type
Mm.
as weeks progresses, and then definitely you will become expertise.
Yeah, you need a structured approach. You need a structured approach, and you need to be persistent, and you need to always keep notes. Note taking is very important. And one thing I want to say that if you're found, say, cross-site scripting, and you're like, oh, I could pop alert 1. Don't just try and just report that straight away. Try and escalate it. So instead of popping alert 1, try document.domain, and then try maybe bypass the same origin policy. We talk about all this in the course. Or you can try trying to use iframe with Riplet. Things like that. Always try and escalate. If you find a redirect, don't just go, oh, I'm going to report that. Quick, easy, $300. Try and report it first, but then go, hey, we're trying to find some SSRF. We're going to change this SSRF. Then maybe try it with SSRF, or try and chain it with an OAuth2 takeover. There, you're escalating the vulnerability. There, instead of a $300 bug bounty, a $300 bounty, you could get close to $2,000 instead. So it takes time. Like these hackers, some of these hackers, I know one of them in particular. He spends about 3 months on a particular vulnerability. He gets a huge bounty. So don't expect to be James Bond in one day. Don't expect to, get a bounty straight off, because it takes some time. But you'll get there. You always get there.
Yeah. Money should be one of the factor for the learning factor to get into
Motivation.
but
Yeah.
should not be the only factor.
Exactly.
Money should not be the only factor to get into bug bounty. You need to
Exactly.
have a learning factor. You need to have money as one of the factors. Yeah.
Exactly. That's spot on. Yeah. So.
So how many hours you will hack on daily?
Well, because of lately, I've been quite busy. So, obviously, I've been quite busy getting this course out. Hey, isn't it right? But also, I've got a lot of mates I hang out with. I've got a lot of support going on. Been through some pretty rough times, which I don't want to get in. Like, I don't want to talk about much. But I don't really spend much time, but back in the day, I used to spend like 10 hours a day, and I used to find some good vulnerabilities. When I was spending about 10 hours a day, that's when I found that stored cross-site scripting, and I was collaborating with Zoid and Nahamsek at the time, and it was a great bounty. I was so happy with that one. Yeah. So now it's only like 3 or 4 hours.
That every day we will learn something. Even in my journey while I'm starting, right? I followed Namamsek, Jason Haddock, Stroke, Gishano, great hackers out there. I used to watch their streams daily. I need to take the notes. It's all we have to begin somewhere. Definitely, it will be end up in a very good place.
They're good people. The hackers out there in the community are such great people. The people that are way above us are great people. They're awesome to get in contact with. Just sign up on Twitter, create an account, and get involved. There are a lot of people out there to help, and they're awesome people. Like Nahamsek helped me a lot. He's a bloody legend. I love him to bits. Zoid's awesome. He's a great help. He's been the best. I love him to bits. So many good hackers out there that are so good. Like there's Brute Logic that is a XSS researcher. He made no XSS. He's a great hacker. He's always there to help people. Such a great community out there, and we're just trying to get trying to get involved in this. We're trying to help you hackers start off, get better, and learn about bug bounties, learn about hacking, and try and get your first bounty.
Yeah. So I think we can wrap up this call.
I think we're going to wrap it off. Yeah. So before we actually get started, before we end the stream, I just want to shout out that in this video on YouTube, it's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Hemanth YouTube. It's going to be on my YouTube. It's also going to be on my Facebook page. We're going to have all the links there, so you'll be able to check that out. And yeah, pretty much that covers it all, I reckon. Don't you reckon? We might have to do another stream sometime.
Sure. Yeah. Definitely.
So wrap it up.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Catch you later.
Sure. Bye.
Bye bye.